Hello, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Clarity for Sure platform. So today we are going to discuss the another report, right? So today is the last three reports that I will be to discuss for the January month, and on the 30th April day, as given in the plan of the Pansutra batch, today I am going to cover all your reports, right? Right? All your reports means the only left reports. So I have already completed, if you will see, on 26th April as promised in the Pansutra batch, this WESP, right? And then a WEO report. I hope it is clear to everyone. WEO and WESP has been already created on the 26th April. On 27th, its state finances reports on trend. It has been completed. On 28th, a breadth of change and the state of finances for nature has been completed. On 29th, this three, the Niti Aayog has been completed, and the Responsible Nation Index RNI 2026 and ILO Employment and Social Trends 2026 and Global Risk Report 2026. Today, I will discuss on 30th April. So all in 5 days, all reports within a month, it has been important for your RBI Grade B paper, it is covered. So my whole request is yes, that everyone should have a short handbook in front of you with a pen so that you all can make whatever the bullet points I will take that this is important for your prelims of the RBI Grade B. And this point you can put in the descriptive answer once for ESI and FM, right? So try to understand what I am going to tell you. So please let me start the Responsible Nation Index RNI, and completely the prelims question can be only will be asked in the from this RNI report from the month of January. Okay. So please have a notes in front of you, everyone, and have a paper and pen. Whatever the key points I will take, please make it so that it will be helpful for you for the revision purpose. So let's start, everyone. Let's start the discussion. So it's about the Responsible Nations Index RNI 2026. So the organizer is very much important for your understanding that the organizer is World Intellectual Foundation, that is WIF is the organizer of this Responsible Nations Index, right? So nothing much is important. Academic partners आप पढ़ लेना JNU है मतलब जवाहरलाल नेहरू यूनिवर्सिटी and IIM Mumbai. Is it clear? Indian Institute of Management Mumbai, launched as the culmination of a 3-year research project first edition. Core purpose is important for your RBI Grade B prelims paper of GA, that is ethical governance, social well-being, environmental stewardship and global responsibility. क्या एम करता है? लिख लो ये बुलेट पॉइंट. इट एम्स टू मूव बियॉन्ड ट्रेडिशनल जीडीपी और मिलिट्री पावर्स metrics. ठीक है. Important, this ranking is important because they can ask, right, according to the global ranking, top and notable nations, right? Singapore, with what point it is having? So you should understand that Singapore is having 0.619545. Then second on Switzerland, third is Denmark, fourth is Cyprus, and fifth is Sweden. And important because you are in India, so India का भी rank important हो जाता है. जैसे India rank is 0.55151. So this news, what I have comprised is only the bullet points I have told you in the PDF, and PDF is also provided in your Telegram channel, right? The first few months is provided on free of cost. And if you want such explanation of the static portion in very detail, you should join our RBI Grade B mentorship program. And please do subscribe and like the video, right? So that the serious aspirant this video can be reached towards. Now only you can understand till now. I hope everyone understands my criteria. First, I make you understand with the theory, then I discuss the important MCQ related to it. So this is the important MCQ related to this. And if you have understand the things and I have made a short full of notes, that is key points you have made, so you can easily understand what I have discussed with. The question you can easily answer. First question क्या पूछा गया है Responsible Nations Index RNI 2026 में? The core conceptual purpose of the Responsible Nation Index 2026 is what? Is to क्या करना है? To evaluate nations as ethical governance, social well-being. I told you ना, environmental stewardship and global responsibility, moving beyond GDP military metrics. ठीक है? समझ में आया? And second question, this kind of a questions can be asked. The country ranked first in the RNI 2026 report is, what is the first answer? That is Singapore, with the point you should remember. It's 0.61945 tops, followed by Switzerland, Denmark, Cyprus, and Sweden. Is it clear? India's rank in RNI 2026 is, it is 16th rank with the score is 0.55151. So I hope the third question is also being very much clear to everyone. Last two questions for this report is, the academic partnership associated with the RNI 2026 include, and such means partnership questions, right? The static question can be asked, and it was JNU with IIM Mumbai. I hope it is clear. B option is clear to everyone. Culmination किसका किसका हुआ था? You should answer. Fifth and the last question for this report is RNI published. RNI 2026 is published by. तो आपको ये समझ में आएगा WIF, that is World Intellectual Foundation. I hope it is clear. So I hope the all basic questions that can be asked from this reports I have cleared you, and you can now understand. Now I'm moving towards the next report. That is, if you will check ILO Employment and Social Trends 2026. So let's start about this report. This ILO Employment and Social Trends means ILO का मतलब है International Labour Organization. If you want to understand this report very much, you should understand the unemployment topic basics very much easily, that I have covered in the static portion of RBI Grade B mentorship program. Then you will understand such kind of a reports important. And मेरा ये कहने का मतलब है, देखो data of these reports are important for your prelims, but ऐसे जो important reports होते हैं ना, जैसे labor, it's limited to the International Labour Organization or something like that. Such kind of a report is very much important for your ESI paper of descriptive writing, right? Because the key data, the changes that it is showing with the black highlighter points, you can use this point in your descriptive answer writing of ESI, whether the questions comes over to the part of International Labour Organization or labor organization or something like unemployment, right? You can put these points also. So ILO Employment and Social Trends 2026 is being published by International Labour Organization ILO. फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या है? एनुअल फ्रीक्वेंसी है. इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट, फ्रीक्वेंसी पूछा जा सकता है, जैसे कि एमपीसी का क्या होता है? बाय मंथली. तो इसी तरह इसका क्या है? पीएलएफएस रिपोर्ट का भी क्या है? एनुअली. तो इट इज अ फ्लैगशिप पब्लिकेशन विच इज फ्रीक्वेंसीज एनुअली. ठीक है. नाउ प्लीज मेक अ नोट ऑफ दिस फॉर योर डिस्क्रिप्टिव आंसर राइटिंग. द इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ILO हैज प्रोजेक्टेड द ग्लोबल अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट. अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट क्या होता है? कैन एनीवन गिव मी द फॉर्मूला ऑफ अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट? कैसे कैलकुलेट करते हैं अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट? राइट, अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट होता है अनएम्प्लॉयड, द पर्सन अनएम्प्लॉयड है, डिवाइडेड बाय लेबर फोर्स. आर यू गेटिंग माय पॉइंट? नॉट टोटल पॉपुलेशन, लेबर फोर्स. लेबर फोर्स में कौन आता है? पीपल हु आर एक्टिवली सीकिंग वर्क, राइट? तो एक्टिवली सीकिंग वर्क होगा, एंड देन दे आर एबल टू फाइंड जॉब. ठीक है, तो वो हो जाएगा एम्प्लॉयड. और नॉट फाइंड जॉब, इफ दे आर एक्टिवली सीकिंग वर्क एंड नॉट फाइंड जॉब, सो वो क्या हो जाएगा? The people are unemployed. So this is the formula of unemployment. तो ये इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्या बताता है? अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रेट, और इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे बताएगा. तो रेट रिमेन्स एट अ हिस्टोरिकल लो लेवल. नाउ इट इज अ वेरी गुड पॉइंट. ऑफ 4.9 हिस्टोरिकली इट इज लो, 4.9%. and data important for your prelims preparation in 2026 affecting about 186 million people worldwide. ठीक है, समझ में आया? Now try to understand the key findings of the report. First is low unemployment but poor job quality. ये तो है कि low unemployment तो है, but quality of job is not that good. Despite the low unemployment, job quality remains a major concern. Around 284 million workers, and आप मार्च में भी जब PLFS रिपोर्ट पढ़ोगे तो ये सारे की पॉइंट्स को यूज करके ही PLFS रिपोर्ट भी बनाया जाएगा, राइट? Around 284 million workers globally still live in extreme poverty. ठीक है, earning less than $3 per day, which is very much less. Over 2 billions of workers, data लिख लेना, जहां जहां black pen से highlighted, it is important for your prelims paper. Over 2 billion workers continue to be engaged in informal employment. Informal employment समझ में आ रहा है ना? No formal kind of a work. Someday they are getting a work, someday they are not. Lacking job security होगा ही होगा, of course, and social protection. ठीक है. So पहला की फाइंडिंग्स ऑफ द रिपोर्ट समझ में आएगा, दैट इज लो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट एंड बट पुअर जॉब क्वालिटी. तो ये पॉइंट रिलेटेड टू एनी अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट रिपोर्ट यू कैन पुट. आप बता सकते हो कि जो इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है अकॉर्डिंग टू द जनवरी मंथ, उसकी डेटा ये कहती थी रिलेटेड टू द अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट. इसीलिए ऐसे रिपोर्ट्स जो आते हैं उसकी डिस्क्रिप्टिव वेटेज बहुत बढ़ जाती है. सेकंड की फाइंडिंग्स इज व्हाट? स्लो डिक्लाइन इन वर्किंग पोवर्टी. Between 2015 and 2025, the share of workers in extremely poverty has been declined. And ये बहुत positive remark है. By only 3.1%, not that much, reaching 7.9%. बहुत ज़्यादा remarkable कम नहीं हुआ है. ठीक है, extreme poverty declination, but it has been shown a decline. And it is important. And कितना? 3.1 percentage points, reaching 7.9%. This is sharply lower than the 15 percentage point decline achieved in the previous decade. कितना 15% कम हुआ है? अगर 100% था सपोज पहले, तो अब 85% is, तो 15% is the point that has been decreased. ठीक है, and which is a greater point अगर unemployment इतना भी कम हुआ है तो. So try to understand, uh, just a minute. Yeah. So try to understand this point over here. So India's, if you will see, India's first is cyber insecurity है. इंडिया में क्या है? इंडिया में दिस इंटरनेशनल लेबर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन व्हाट इट इज शोइंग अबाउट दिस रिपोर्ट. इंडिया में क्या बता रहे फाइंडिंग्स? फर्स्ट है साइबर इनसिक्योरिटी है. सेकंड इनइक्वालिटी वेल्थ एंड इनकम. क्या क्या पॉइंट्स है रिलेटेड टू द अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट, राइट? अगर अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट डिक्रीज भी हुआ है बट क्वालिटी ऑफ वर्क हैज नॉट बीन इंक्रीज. दिस इज अ मेजर की फाइंडिंग दैट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड. सो इंडिया में व्हाट इट इज टेलिंग अबाउट, द फर्स्ट इज साइबर इनसिक्योरिटी, सेकंड इनइक्वालिटी वेल्थ एंड इनकम. ठीक है, इनइक्वालिटी है वेल्थ और इनकम में. insufficient public services and social protection. Public services hai but social protection including education, infrastructure and pension is insufficient, right? It is not up to the mark. Fourth point is economic downturn, example recession, stagnation. Stagflation hota hai, ऐसे stagnation कुछ नहीं होता. Stagflation कहने का मतलब है कि in a country where when the recession hits, unemployment is also increasing and inflation is also increasing simultaneously. ठीक है, simultaneously both is increasing, and this is very bad thing for any government. Is it clear? Are you getting a point? And fifth point is state based armed conflict, that is proxy civil wars, cops, terrorism, etc. ठीक है, so the ILO flags this is an sign of a weak progress in an inclusive growth. Inclusive growth में ये बहुत सारा weak progress, तो ये points को आप descriptive में बहुत अच्छे से लिख सकते हो. what are the points for the inclusive growth and a weak progress in India in spite of the unemployment rate is getting decreased? What is the point? So you can add this point over here, first to fifth, and you will fetch a good marks over here. So now the last point over here, last key findings is rising informality. ठीक है, the global informality rate has been increased by 0.3 percentage points. Important data whenever comes. So it is important for your RBI Grade B papers for the prelims part. Between 2015 and 2025, the reverse gains made in the earlier decade when informality has declined. Reverse gear le liya. Now we will try to understand the objective questions related to this ILO employment and social trends 2026. Now the first question in front of your screen is the central paradox highlighted by the ILO and the social trends. Is paradox क्या है? क्या है? क्या है? बताओ. It is just the B point, that is historical low unemployment कितना है? 4.9%, coexisting with poor job quality, high working poverty and rising informality. This is the very paradox point for this report. ठीक है, क्या है? Unemployment rate तो historically low है, but still the poor job quality is there. There is high working poverty and rising informality. Second question in front of your screen. Workers in extremely poverty per the ILO report are defined as those earning less than, is this USD dollar? कितना है? 3 है, 1 है, 2 है, कितना है per day? That is 3. About 284 million workers are below the threshold globally. You can understand what it is telling about. C answer is correct. USD dollar 3 per day. Now the third question it is telling about globally the numbers of workers still in informal employment is कितना है? कितना है informal में? Please try to understand. It is over 2 billion. 2 billion lacking job insecurity and social protection, a structural decent work deficit. Now fourth question, working poverty felt only 3.1 percentage points 2015 and 2015 to 25 compared with 15 percentage points in the previous decade. The ILO interprets this as क्या है? कैसा है? That is a B point. Weak progress in inclusive growth, a clear slowdown in poverty reduction. ठीक है. Now last question for this report is between 2015 and 2025 the globally informality rate is B point, increased by 0.3%. ठीक है, point, and reversing the gains of the previous decade. I hope it is clear to everyone. Now, just I hope everyone is having a copy in front of you and everyone is making a key point so that the revision will be helpful for all of you. Now, the global risk reports, the last reports for the January months I'm going to discuss. This is also a very short report, right? And 5 questions I will discuss it while telling you some theories about the report. The last report for the January month is Global Risk Report 2026, published by what? पब्लिश बाय वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम, WEF। किससे पब्लिश होता है? वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम। इसकी भी फ्रीक्वेंसी क्या है? एनुअल। द 2026 रिपोर्ट इज द 21st एडिशन। ठीक है, कितना एडिशन है? 21st एडिशन। Insights from the Global Risk Protection Service, that is GRPS, which captures the view of the over 1,300 experts across government, businesses, and academia. Now, short term 2 years. What it is telling about? Just tell me, right? Short term 2 years में क्या होगा? This global risk report is what it is suggesting, right? So try to understand. पहला क्या है? जियो इकोनॉमिक कन्फ्रंटेशन। सेकंड, मिस इन्फॉर्मेशन एंड डिस इन्फॉर्मेशन। Third, it is societal polarization. Fourth point, it is extreme weather events. Fifth point, state-based armed conflict. Sixth, cyber insecurity. Seventh, inequality. Eighth, erosion of human rights and or of civic freedom. Ninth, pollution, and tenth, involuntary migration or displacement. Right? I hope all the 10 points is being I have just explained. Just read it. Now try to understand what it is telling you. Scope, what it is telling about the access 33 global risk categorized into the 5 areas, that is economical, environmental, geopolitical, societal and technological। कितना है? पूरा 33 जो ग्लोबल रिस्क था उसको किस कैटेगरी में रख दिया? 5 एरियाज के क्राइटेरिया में, दैट इज इकोनॉमिक, इन्वायरमेंटल, जियोपॉलिटिकल, सोसाइटल एंड टेक्नोलॉजिकल। टाइम हॉरिजन क्या है? शॉर्ट टर्म के लिए 2 years, focuses on intermediate like geo-economic confrontation, state-based armed conflict, and the economic downfalls. ठीक है? Now, long term, that is 10 years, dominantly environment, focusing in extreme weather events, biodiversity loss से में focus करेंगे, and ecosystem collapse. Is it clear? Now, try to understand the long term this 10 years program. Long term 10 years program is extreme weather events. Second, biodiversity loss and ecosystem collapse. Third is critical change to environmental system, that is earth system, not environmental system. Fourth is misinformation and disinformation. Fifth is adverse outcomes of AI technology. Sixth is natural resource shortage. Seventh is inequality. Eighth is cyber insecurity. Ninth is societal polarization, and 10th is pollution. Right? I hope the all 10 point is clear. Long term 10 years goals is clear. Now we will move towards the discussion of the MCQ. Now, global risk reports, last MCQ for the January month I'm going to discuss. Please have a look. The first question is the global risk perception survey, GRPS, underpinning the report draws on insights from B point, that is over 1,300 experts across government, businesses and academia. Now, second question, what it is telling about? The global risk report 2026 categorizes 33 global risk into how many areas? It is the correct option is C, 5 economical, environmental, geopolitical, societal and technological. Right? Now, the third question, what it is telling about? The hash one short term 2-year global risk in GRR 2026 is, that is B point, geo-economic confrontation. Fourth question, the dominant theme of the long-term 10-year risk landscape in GRR 2026 is C, that is environment, extreme weather events, biodiversity loss, ecosystem collapse. Now the fifth point, the hash one country specific risk identified for India in GRR 2026 is, that is a B point, that is cyber insecurity. क्या है? Cyber insecurity is the point over here. So I hope the all the news is clear to everyone, right? And I have cleared the things, that is global risk report 2026 WEF related to ILO employment and social trends and everything. I hope everything is clear within the period and the questions discussion. If you really like the video, if you really like the efforts that we are putting in the Pansutra batch, please do like and subscribe so that it can reach. And if you want, you can share it for the detail, and please do comment on the so that the maximum student can get the benefit, those who are preparing for the RBI. And if you want to enroll in the course, please join our RBI Grade B mentorship program. See some trial classes of the static portion and you can join. So thank you so much. Keep learning. The news for not the news, the reports for the January month has been over in the 5 class as promised from 26th April to 30th April. So thank you so much. Keep learning. Bye. Take care.